Welcome back to my Ultimate Decades Challenge. The year is 1410, which yes, is quite the time jump from the last proper update. Straight up, I just didn't feel like recording, but since this is an event year, I figured it was time to check back in with the Rosenfelds. Zelig did, in fact, go on to be the next heir. He's now 35 years old, and has 4 children of his own. His surviving sons, Gilbert, Richard, and Jost, were born during his marriage to a woman named Octavia, who unalived back in 1398, along with Gilbert's twin brother, Myron. His youngest and only surviving daughter, Henny Geislug, was born from a one-night stand with local beer brewer, Mallory Geislug, during one of his lonelier nights. At first, Zelig had been reluctant to accept her, ashamed of having had relations outside of marriage, but once he held her for the first time, he fell absolutely in love with his baby girl. Due to the difficulties and stigma surrounding single, working mothers during this time, Zelig took Henny into his household when she was about a year old, raising her alongside his sons. The boys are all very protective of their baby sister, so her future husband better treat her well, or we might just have another fall from the tower incident. 16-year-old Gilbert is our current heir. He's working to be a cook, like his father, but lately an even greater ambition has been on the forefront of his mind. Some might call him a fool for falling in love with Lady Gertrude, eldest daughter of Lord Robert von Windenberg, but the ways of the heart are strange indeed. Lady Gertrude loves him just as much, but their differing status is enough for a union between them to be forbidden. Never mind the fact that Gilbert is a Jew. What's more, Gertrude is already betrothed to Lord Ulrich Berger's heir, Christoph Berger IV. He's not a bad person per se, but she barely even feels a spark of friendship between them, never mind romance. Plus, he's already fathered a bastard child with his maid, both of whom also live in the estate. Even putting all that aside, there's another reason why Gertrude feels herself being drawn to Gilbert. As most nobles of the period, she's been raised under the teachings of Catholicism, but the more she learns about Judaism, the more it appeals to her. She wonders sometimes what would upset her family more, her having fallen in love with a peasant, or potentially becoming Jewish. Before we can resolve their love affair, it's now July of 1410, which means it's time for the Battle of Grunwald, not only the largest battle of the Polish-Lithuanian Teutonic War, but one of the largest battles in all of medieval Europe. The Holy Roman Empire gave their support to the Teutonic Knights, which means outer branches of the family, German and Polish, will be fighting each other. Every household with a male aged teen to elder will roll a d4. If a 4 is rolled, one man will be called to fight. Our main household, Oof, goes to war. The Lehrberger household stays home. Spare Rosenfeld household number 1 stays home. The Otterberg household stays home. Spare Rosenfeld household number 2 stays home. The Berger household goes to war. Spare Rosenfeld household number 3 stays home. The main von Windenberg household goes to war. The von Berger household stays home. The Hummel household goes to war. Wow, that's all our main aristocratic households. Honestly makes sense, but wow, eat the rich. Sorry, what? The Handhart household stays home. The Salomon household stays home. The Trum household goes to war. The Spare von Windenberg household goes to war. Spare Rosenfeld household number 4 goes to war. And since the battle took place on Polish soil, both our Polish households are automatically enlisted. As the Battle of Grunwald was so short, our enlistees don't have to leave their households, but they do have to roll for survival chances. A d20 will be used for this roll. Anyone who rolls a 20 doesn't survive the battle. Not risking my heir. So Richard, let's see if you're coming home from war. Yay, he survives. Christoph Berger IV. Sorry Gertrude, your fiancé survives. Robert von Windenberg survives. Cineric Hummel survives. Near Trum doesn't make it. Lewin von Windenberg. Survives. Rolf Rosenfeld. Survives. Jakob Novak. Survives. Guess he has that old man strength. Ariel Bosko. Survives. With the Polish-Lithuanian army victorious, the men return home to rest and regroup. But in the chaos of the returning soldiers, no one notices the absence of our two star-crossed lovers. It's a small, secret, and dangerous ceremony, but the love between the two is too great, and the calling of faith is too much for Gertrude to ignore. She'll never see her family again, and Gilbert will have to keep distant to keep his father and siblings safe. But they have each other and they will endure. They have to.